gets it right. It's Lutwyche.
Lutwyche.
Yeah,
I knew that.
nobody gets it.
It's okay. I'm used to it. This first one, can you hear me? Because I can't see up here. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. This first one is from a workshop from Jane Schulman this morning. Datura and Pedernal by Georgia O'Keeffe, a personal response. This time she has angled her beloved Pedernal so that the flat top angles to a nipple. In silhouette, the slopes soften, change into the scalp-prickling blue breast of my mammogram. The painting's coral gash even aligns with one of my left breast's scars, wounded hills. On what would be the right, across the flayed flesh of wrinkled orange ridges, is a single white flower, closer to us, bigger than the mountain. I think my sudden tears are not for my lost breast, but for the tribute I never paid, the funeral I never requested for my shattered life. I have no pity for the deformity the cancer deigned to leave me, or for the part that was savaged, removed, and passably rebuilt. No. Instead, the flower must be the trembling purity of my rebirth. Everything now becomes possible. In 2011, HMS Invincible, icon of the Falklands War, was towed from Portsmouth for scrap. Deconstruction. In our house is a painting of the ship that battled crashing oceans and floated my husband to his war. Tiny men line the decks at attention in full dress, ready for the welcome of queen and country. My husband is one of them. In the painting, the great ship is greeted with all the fanfare a victorious warrior deserves. Rust streams from her hull like blood from wounds. I can hear military bands and the cheers of crowds, though I didn't know him yet. In England, we gathered in our finest clothes. We attended a somber ceremony that relieved her of her duty. That dusk, the bugle stirred even my civilian heart. British men struggled for composure, another battle to withstand, but we women wept. A knighted admiral, the man who brought them there and back, squared his shoulders stiff and poised. What surged through him as he saluted his men and his most significant beloved ship that final time? Today, my husband shows me a photograph. The proud ship, her shapely hull still discernible, stands mute in a shipyard, surrounded by cranes. It looks like her assembly, but it is her undoing, her dismantling, her deconstruction. I know where his berth was, now exposed. There are the corridors that haunt his dreams, where alarms sounded, danger was announced, and death waited. They gape now, emptied arteries, open to the sea. We have an understanding, his ship and his wife. Displayed in our American home, I pass her every day. I know they are locked in an unending embrace. So she is his beloved and his nemesis, sometimes an unwitting partner to another deconstruction, his. This last one. Road weeping. My head was sputtering with smiles and chaos after a wild morning teaching special needs art, so it was nearly too late when I realized her car was in my lane, coming toward me. I swerved onto the bumpy verge with only enough time for a glimpse of her face. Mouth open, abandoned to her private pain, face glittering with tears, she swerved aside and kept going, too fast for the curve in the road. but she must have made the turn. There was no crash, just the aftermath, my heart crazy with what could have happened. Settling into my journey, I wondered what it was that hurt her. How big was her grief? Was it hers? If she'd killed me or herself in the collision we didn't have. Okay. Should I finish? No. Okay. In the collision we didn't have, would anyone have known to comfort her for her weeping? Coming home, I remembered a time that I was driving and crying, nearly blind with tears, and the contractor in the pickup who stopped to look.